Don't go out there. It's dark. Cutie cats. Well, no. Yeah, I'll be my. Yeah, I gotta go get lava buckets. Yeah, wow. Um. Processing. Processing. Okay, so before I forget about it, I gotta go test something back at the village. Like, something that I knew but I forgot about, and then I remembered and then I forgot, and then I was reminded by Mystical Gamer Mom again, was if you put carpets on the top of fences, you can get through the fence, but other stuff can't get through the fence. And I think in one of the villager videos, I mean, I've got a lot of videos, and they're usually like long format videos, so it's hard for me to say which video it would be in, but I think I mentioned that. I can't remember why I didn't do that, though. The only thing I can think of as to why I might not have done that was I think I was worried that they could still get out. Like with the way that I've got the bed positioned on the oh crap. Like what I'm worried about is the villagers being able to collectively bump each other just in the right wrong way to get on top of the carpet between the things. And I think I had convinced myself that it was just easier to leave it the way that I had it. But it turns out that that was wrong. Jeeps. The Jeeps. Come on, Jeeps. The shaving. Come on, Jeeps. Jeeps. Processing. Processing. Do you want to bring the wool over? Well, I'm going over there anyway, so I probably should. Meow. So I did look it up, and apparently bumblebees do make honey. They just don't make a lot of honey. Which, looking at the bees made me think of that. So they might be bumblebees. But they're probably honeybees. I mean, I just like to call them the bumblebees. The bumblebees. But apparently bumblebees lack the glands that produce wax that allows them to make the honeycombs, and they only produce enough honey to feed, or to eat and to feed to their young through the winter. Whereas honeybees make honey in the honeycombs all the time. I mean, they're probably honeybees because they're specifically for honey, but they do happen to look like bumblebees. In the sense that they're larger and kind of bumbly. The Bomble's Beast. The Bomble's Beast. Yeah, that's how I feel too there. Moo. I probably scared somebody. That's the cool part about using the compressor and the limiter and the audio filters on OBS is that do not have anything to make boxes over here. No, I don't. Crap. The cool thing about the audio limiter and the compressor is it makes all the quiet things normal volume, and it makes all the loud things normal volume. Now I need to go get a handful of trees. The Bumble's Beast. I wonder if there's a tool specifically to remove glowstone. Well, not only exclusively glowstone, but like the favored tool of the block. That should be enough to make some boxes. Meow, meow. So I think, if I remember correctly, the reason that I didn't want to have the carpet, because I thought about it. I think I thought about it. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure it's in one of the videos. Like, I'm not trying to deny credit to Mystical Gamer Mom for reminding me to do this, but I mean, yeah. I think the reason that I didn't do it is because where this bed sits, they might be able to walk past it. I mean, but because of that, I guess if I put it here, on this block going all the way down, or if I put it here, I mean, the problem with putting it here is, I mean, I have been using this to parkour my way over the top of the fence and stuff, but I don't want them to either get out or get on top of the fence, because if they manage to get on top of this fence, then they can path anywhere where there's fence all the way to the edge. That, and I don't want them roaming around here on the inside, because all these guys, a lot of time went into separating them because of the specific thing that they sell. And these particular dudes sell the best thing that I need, which is the efficiency 3 pick and the fortune 2 unbreaking 3 efficiency 3 pick, which if I buy one and buy one of the other, I can combine it for 4 levels to get unbreaking 3 efficiency 4 fortune 2. But because of the iron farm and the trades and all the emeralds, I mean, it's basically free high-level diamond tools. Free minus all of the work that went into getting to this point. Oh, and I'm not one of those people where it's gotta be my idea, or I'm not gonna do it, or like, it's gotta be me that knows how to do the thing. Like, if I were like that, I wouldn't have credited Mystical Gamer Mom. You know, I wouldn't have, I would have just been like, hey, I had an idea, let me put carpet on this thing, and then not said anything, so like, and that wouldn't be cool, so. No, I try to do the credit where credit is due thing, if at all possible. I'm already at my limit for listening to the ha. I'm already like a kid. The ha Haven't done that in a while. Enough with the ha already. Meow, meow. The kitty cat. Meow. So do I want to buy carpet or do I want to make carpet? I mean, the colors I can buy are kind of limited by what they sell. And I don't want to have to dye it to the color that I want it to. I mean, I've got a lot of light gray wool. I mean, but then again, it doesn't really matter. I think I'm just going to use the light wool. Because... Oops. Because any amount of... I should probably shift all of this stuff into that box. Because any amount of... I forgot what I was saying. Because any amount of stuff can do the thing with the other stuff that does the things. I think that's what it was. Pretty much any amount of wool I can replace, and any amount of wool. Eventually, I'm gonna have the shepherds to sell it to, any color and any amount. Like, and I think that was one of the things that I was doing and I forgot about doing. Is I think I'm just gonna shift these guys over to the larger holding pens over here that have like 20 or something things in them, because the amount of variations and wool color and things that they're gonna sell is like through the roof. I mean, I was hoping to get the guy that buys red dye, get rid of all these poppies, because I mean, storing them until I get one that sells red dye, because it's an eventuality that eventually I will get one that buys red dye. I mean, I would basically just be throwing away emeralds and XP that I could, you know, turn these poppies into, turn those poppies into that. But because there's so many variations and I didn't anticipate that, and I was kind of hoping to get lucky and just, you know, one of these in here would probably get, you know, buy the red dye at some point. But that didn't happen. I haven't been over here in a while. I should probably turn the golden farm back on while I do this. Ah, crap. No, get out of the bed. I thought about it as I jumped in the bed is... Well, it doesn't really matter, because if they're going to get out, I was going to say if I should make the modifications while they're in the bed, so I don't have to worry about them jumping around. And this behavior where they stand in this corner is kind of frustrating. And you can't get them out of the corner. I don't want to whack them, I don't want to hit them. I don't think they can get out the bottom, and there's no baby boys. Guys, come on. Get out of the corner, dude. Meow, meow. The meow meow. So like if I put that here, like I think the thing that keeps them from getting out is because it doesn't register as a pathable block for them, which is why the wool works the way that it does. And like I kind of want to have this here too. I mean, it allows me to get in and out easily. But the thing that I wanted to test, and I don't want to have to sort these guys if I'm wrong, is if this is missing and they're on that bed, are they eventually gonna... Oops. Yep, okay. So now I gotta resort him back over to the thing. No. Don't do it. Great. And I left my minecart in the thing. So, I didn't really want to have this in both spots. And this is still kind of clumsy to have to jump in and out of the front like this. Because what I wanted to do was just go down one straight line and jump through. I guess putting it on the front is good enough. The I mean, I know that it won't count as a pathable block here, and I don't want to have it in both spots. And I know that they can't get through it here. I guess I could put it in both spots. Because then I don't have to worry about jumping out through the front, and I could just go from one to the other, with the option to also do like this, like. But let me get Mr. Dude out of there. Look out there, fuzzball. Hello. It's you. Yeah, I need you to go this way. Get in the mine cart. And now he's in the... This is so frustrating. Why does my character not have a greater push force than this guy? I'm so tempted to swat this guy, but he's like the good guy. He's like the one that I really don't want to mess up the trades for. And if I try to open the, like, you know, if I try to put a block that they can get through again, this guy is probably gonna go instead of the other guy. I mean, the only other thing that I could do is put a minecart there. I may as well have a second minecart anyway. Put a minecart and a rail. Tear this stuff up here. The meow, 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 meow. Aha, ha. Yeah, I'm glad I went with this design as opposed to the design I was gonna do, which was, I think I did do a video of creative testing, and that was where you put each individual one in like a 1-block cell. I mean, trying to move them in and out of those, like, you lose that functionality. Plus the benefit is of this, you can get 3 of them in each spot. I accidentally slapped that dude in the head with my axe. The ma. And then I turn around and every single one of them has now gotten out into the other pen. He's thinking about it. Thinking about it. Like, I think the way that it works is they can jump up there, but they won't because of the same reason they won't cross a minecart is it doesn't register as a valid path because it's one block higher, I think. I panicked when I saw him jump up there. I don't want to mess this thing up. I mean, worst case scenario is they manage to get out and get killed by a zombie or something. Or they wander far enough away from the village and I don't notice it. The other part of this is I don't want to sit here and, like, watch to make sure that nothing bad happens. Like, they almost walked off onto the top of that. Well, I'm gonna try it. Like, I mean, if he goes off at just the right angle, I mean, not that the character physics is exactly the same as the villager physics. I don't think that it is. See, what he's doing is what I don't want them to do. Because if they manage to jump up there, then they can fully get out of the pen and then fully get out of the village. I mean, since I have to move the workbenches underneath everything anyhow, as I get more villagers that sell stuff, I'm gonna try it. I mean, I'm not gonna be happy if it messes it up, you know, obviously, but there's a chance I could be fine. I mean, I don't really need this here, but I'm gonna put it there so it's uniform. This is gonna be frustrating. But I guess the upside is it either works or it doesn't. But the important part of it working or it not working is that I'm gonna know that it works or it doesn't work. Dude, go off this way, that I'm trying to push you off this way so you can get out of this whole section. He's not going to. Meow meow. You kitty cat. Meow meow. $275 hours later. Processing. Processing. I do. Oh, and I'm not looking to blame anybody if this mess gets messed up. And just so it's been said, you know, I don't like to do that because blame doesn't really help people fix the things that's, you know, has gone wrong. Like, and you can only blame somebody if they aren't responsible for the thing that you're blaming them for. That's what it means. That's what the word means. Like, if somebody did something, then they're responsible for doing that thing. And I say that because it's like a really commonly misused word, like. So if I can correct somebody's misconception that just happens to watch the video, then good. I mean, then, you know. You know, I just had another idea. What happens, because I just saw him, that probably is not going to work, but like, I wonder how related to them renewing their workbench is their restocking ability. Like, if you, I mean, you might have to break the workbench, so you might not be able to automate it with the machine, but like, if you want, like, if I bought all the picks from these guys and sold them all the iron that they'll buy, would it make sense for me to break all the workbenches and replace all the workbenches, or are they going to reset their trades because they got a new workbench? I mean, I want to say that this should be fine, but there's a chance that it's not going to be. But looking over in this direction at the larger holding pens over there, I could probably put some carpet over there too to solve the problem of opening the gate versus not opening the gate. Hiccups. And I put the carpet in that box, and I don't want to go get it. What if I put it here? I mean, then I can get in and out from either side for either one. And I don't have to worry about them getting in and out of the fence gate again. But yeah, all those shepherds, gonna have to put like a bunch of looms here. With as many variations as I'm getting, and there's not really, or as many variations as there are. I mean, I'm gonna separate out the ones that buy the red dye and probably put them in their own sales area. Because the amount of villagers that I'm gonna need to buy all the different color wools and the dyes and everything else, like, it's a pretty high number. combinations, like permutations. Meow. Okay, so I got that done. It seems to be okay for now. And if it goes bad, if they get out or whatever, I mean, then there's not really anything I can do about it. I just hope that I notice in time. But they seem fine for now. And my question is that I don't know is, I don't know if it's a matter of, oh, there he goes. Crap. He just got, no. I don't know if it's a matter of they can't get out, or it's just that they won't attempt to get out because it won't allow them to path there. But how did that just happen? Like, that's frustrating. I mean, what if I put it here? I mean, if I put it here, then that means that they're going to, and I think the same thing is going to happen. Because of, like, that would mean that I'd have to lower all of these workbenches. I'm trying to lower all these workbenches is going to be a pain in the eyeball. Now, what is it about the corner that caused that one to jump up here? Was it just an accident that he just happened to path over there? Like, he just happened to jump on the top of the thing? I mean, I guess if I put it by the bed instead, on this block where the bed is just that much less high. Like, it's got just that much less height to it than the workbench does, and some of the workbenches are higher than the other ones. The other thing I just thought of is, with the pushback and everything else and how the mobs bounce off of each other and the variance between the potential variance, because I don't know for certain, of golems versus villager collision boxes, like, I think I was gonna name him. But, nah, you got to go, bud. Because you're gonna accidentally path through at just the wrong angle, at just the wrong time, to push one of those guys on top of one of those blocks. Dead. Should be fine. I mean, I don't really want to cheat, but like, if this goes badly enough, I might have to restore a backup. But that's still cheating. I mean, and the other problem is, like, because I'm not certain that it's gonna be fine. You know, like you think that it's gonna be fine, and then you know you're sure as you can be, and then you go off and do other stuff like within the area, and they just happen to get out. And the problem is, I'm looking for like the one-off chance that they just happen to be in the right area at the right time with the right push force, with the right like thing to cause them to jump at the wrong time. But having it spaced and having the workbenches in the floor should disallow for that. I mean, it should prevent that from happening. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna try it because I'm just tired enough of having to go in and out of the fence gates and trying to parkour off of this fence thing to where this is just so much easier. Like, I can get the entirety of the iron trades done to where I have to wait for them to reset their trades. I can get that done that much faster now. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'm over here, I've got the iron, I've got the emeralds and everything else. I should probably, and I know I'm gonna need more picks. And just as a test, I should probably do it. Like, part of me was thinking about not doing it, not doing the trades, because I don't really need to right now. But since I am gonna need them later, the oh, and I say this jokingly, like, well, if this works, it's all just my idea. It's not anybody else's idea but why. But if it goes bad, then it's somebody else. Like, but again, joking. I'm joking. Ma. That's already much nicer than it was. I think we're good. The only one that I've seen jump up through there, and I think it was because it was on the corner, and their weird, strange behavior with corners, especially fence corners. And I think what happens is the pathing code must bug out in the sense that it doesn't account for them being just the portion of the block away from the center of a block for it to register that they're in another block. You know, like if you're just like, if you're like, what is it? You see the decimal points for the blocks and how like, I think rounding is occurring. So like if they're over here, like it counts that they're within this block to where they're pathing. I don't know what. No, I mean, that's all just pure speculation. So, I mean, I could easily be wrong. And people, not everybody, but a lot of people have a tendency to quote YouTubers or streamers or whatever. Like they try to, like whatever they said is, that's it. No, they said it. And it's like, sometimes they're wrong. And I don't want to be accused of spreading misinformation. So this is why, you know, I try to make sure that it's clear that I'm only speculating. I don't know. I'm guessing. Oh, somebody said there's a mystical cow level that's super secret that you can't get to, and it's like the next thing you know, they think there's a super secret cow level that doesn't exist. Like, I don't know if I've got enough of every one of those. But yeah, my reluctance to do that was because I didn't want them to get out. I didn't want to think that it was cool, and I didn't want them, like, I especially don't want them to get themselves killed. Like, but this is much more convenient than having to go in and out of the door every time. And all of that iron is already gone. The other part is I really don't like to do stuff that I'm not certain of. Like, I mean, when there's like a really high risk that something will go horribly wrong. But it seems like it's fine. And then with just how difficult it can be to try to wrangle the villagers. Like, I mean, they're all replaceable and everything else, but the thing that's not replaceable is the time that it took to get here. Is my main concern. I was concerned enough about it to where I was just gonna fight with the defense gate. I think was my reasoning. But it seems to be working, which is pretty great. So thank you for reminding me of that. The But I think I'm good on the iron trades and the testing, and I've got 6 more efficiency 3, fortune 2, unbreaking 3, or efficiency 4 picks, and I've got the hiccups. Excuse me. Do I want to bring this wool with me to make bombs or bed bombs? I really don't want to use the beds as explosives though, because it's just not uniform enough to where it's going to make more of a headache trying to stumble through where the beds were. And the only way to get the maximum use out of a bed is to, like, if this was solid netherrack, and if I dug a 1x2 tunnel that I could run through, and then as you go down to the end of the tunnel, you place a bed, you jump in it, you get out of the spawn thing, you get another bed, you run down the tunnel to where it looks like the last bed got blown up, you put the bed down, and you repeat that process all the way down the tunnel. And the reason that you use the tunnel is the bed explodes in a sphere, and all of those blocks get removed all at once as fast as you can get down there and blow up the beds. But if I did it on a surface level, this whole half of the sphere would get wasted every time. But I mean, with as many blocks as I have to remove, digging the tunnel through the solid netherrack instead of shaving off each layer as I go. I mean, since I'm gonna die every time anyway. Ha. I've got all this gray wool too. But I don't see them jumping out anywhere. The only one that I saw do that was here. And I think it was because of... they just happened to be on this block, which isn't a fence block. And I really don't want any of these guys to get out. But it doesn't look like they're going to. Because if they were going to, they would have by now. Meow meow. The other nice part of playing in a solo world is if I'm in the nether, the overworld is unloaded, and I don't have to worry about anybody, you know, any stuff happening outside of my knowing it's happening. But if you play in a multiplayer world, there's a chance that, like, even if people don't have access because of, like, Townie or something, like, I don't even know if Townie is still a thing, that's a really old bucket mod. You know, like a permissions mod. Well, I mean, the chunk would still be active because they're within the area to keep the simulation active. But so long as I'm not there, then anything that goes sideways, if I happen to be over by the village, I should be there to fix it. And despite me not probably going to use the wool right away, I'm thinking about it and digging one tunnel through that big chunk of solid netherrack in the north, east, and west quadrants. It's probably worth trying to maximize the use of the bed, because I mean, then again, like, just a few seconds of mining the netherrack with the pick removes almost as much stuff as the bed. But the reason that I brought it with me is so I don't forget about it, and then I'll have it over here if I decide that I want to do that. So I'm not really in a hurry to level the shepherds, so most of them are already master level anyway, and I have to make more of them anyhow. I'm just about dead. Big pig. Big, big, big. Oh, good. Big pig. I gotta hit the time clock here. The Wither Skeletal. The big pig. Oh no. The game capture is getting a little weird there. Oh good. He's like right here too. Hey, how's it going? I missed. Dead. Big. Do 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 do. Thank you. Well, I don't know why I slid that way. Was it that pig trying to push me off the edge? It might have been. I mean, I don't think that's a behavior that they have that's intentional, but he just happened to path over to where I was. How is it that I don't remember seeing this from before? Like, I went all the way, like, over that way, but I guess I must have just ran past it. There's a big chunk of, you know, see, like that, I would use a bed for. I mean... Oh! Big. Dead. Soup made of rice. That's some good chicken soup though. I take some rice and some barley and toast it for a little bit in the oven. Make a mirepoix, which is carrots, onions, and celery. Yeah. And take some roasted chickens. Big, big. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, I kind of freaked myself out by, like, I don't know what prompted me to say pig pig. Other than, you know, just being strange. But I did, and then it was pig pig time. That'll do there, Pecky. That'll do. I'll get it later. I don't think stuff can spawn on that. Don't know if it can. Chicken, chicken, chicken. Dead. I mean, and then there's that, is if for no other reason than just boredom. You know, getting bored of using the picks to shave off the layers of the quadrants. I mean, it would probably be fun to use the beds, but I think that would be the most effective way to use the beds, though, is you make a tunnel. Like, roughly this looks like about the explosion, so if I put a tunnel, like, right in the middle of that amount of block, I mean, it should take out that many more blocks, but then the problem is, like, you have to go back and then pick off, like, the spare block that's just sitting, and then you have to, like, build scaffolding to get up to where the spare block is just sitting there. And since the whole purpose of removing the blocks is to remove the blocks, because any blocks that are there, they could potentially spawn on. You know, any valid spawn blocks. I mean, it seems like it's faster, but it probably just makes more work. I mean, that's not the same as using beds to look for ancient debris. Using the beds to look for ancient debris, I mean, you're not trying to remove every single block with the intention of making sure that it's spawn proof. I mean, you're really just trying to put a big dent in the netherrack. And who cares if it's uneven, or who cares if it's, like, difficult to get through, or there's fire and lava or whatever. I mean, because ancient debris don't get blown up or melted, but The piggy, piggy, pig. Pig. I'm going to turn you into shoes. Well, the cool part about recording myself doing this is like I can go all the way back to like video 0 before I had done anything in the game. And the same is true for like any part of recording every part of playing, like the playthrough, and not editing out any parts of it. Like I don't have to try to describe the amount of work that I did. Like I don't have to try to describe what the forest looked like over here. Like I could just find whatever video that shows that. Oh good. And yeah. And be like, observe. Big, big. Is you, big, big. You. Oh, oh, oh. I really don't think the forest grew back, but it does kind of feel like it did. I mean, I know it didn't, but it feels like it did. I mean, because one part of the forest is practically indistinguishable from the other part of the forest. Oh, good. I want to go get those blocks. Big, big. Oh, good. And I'd be lying if I said that this didn't give me some amount of anxiety, being this close to the edge, trying to do stuff. Like, I really expected to come back out on the top of the edge of the island over there. The surface of the edge of the island. And then bump on the log on the frog on the bottom of the sea. Maybe I should have just done this. Big. Is this thing out of this stuff? It is. I gotta do something here. It won't take long enough for me to go AFK. Or long enough for me to have to want to pause the game or anything. Yeah, you just look at this particular part of the map. Like, I just had a bit of a nostalgia, or not a nostalgia, but a flashback moment. Especially when playing multiplayer on the early versions of Minecraft, like over the internet. Like, if I hosted a server, or my buddy hosted a server, but especially if my buddy hosted a server, like whoever was the client connecting to the other person's computer, like, the easiest way to get gravel, or the easiest way to get flint out of gravel, I mean, was, and still kind of is, so long as you don't have like a village to trade it, you know, to get gravel, or to get flint from the gravel from a villager. The easiest way is to make a tower of gravel, and you know, you go like 128 blocks or more up into the air just out of gravel, and then when you look down, you know, you just like use a shovel and look straight down, and however much flint you get out of however much gravel, if it happens to be the amount you need, you know, then you stop. But the nostalgia part was like, as you're falling down, if there was a slight variance in, like, you know, if there's just enough amount of lag between where the game thought you were going to be and where the, you know, where the client and the server thought you were going to be because of the lag of the game, or the network, or the, you know, the internet, your character would clip through the gravel, and then you'd fall from however high you were on the gravel tower. Like, I think it's think it might even be like a server setting now or something, is like use the server side client correction or something. But something about mining straight down reminded me of that. You know, and being that close to the edge, like there was the slimmest chance that everything would go just wrong enough to where the server would be like, oh, so you're over here now. And he would be like, oh no. And I would have probably have fallen into the lava. Eventually, I will be done with removing this crimson forest. Eventually. The reason that I'm doing this first, instead of just removing the netherrack, is the same reason that I went through and spawn-proofed as much of the visible ceiling caves as I could. Is because this is somewhat difficult to do compared to just removing the netherrack. And once I'm done doing the somewhat difficult stuff, then the rest of the easy stuff should go much faster. And again, since the blocks don't automatically respawn or grow back or anything like that, as much time as it takes to remove the stuff is as much time as it's going to take to remove the stuff, for one. But every block that's removed is a block that is removed from the final total. And the difference is whether I do this now or later doesn't matter, in the sense that every block has to be removed. But the difference in efficiency is doing one thing and focusing on doing the one thing compared to having to shift gears and do a different thing. Like if I was just removing the netherrack and I got to this forest that I didn't really know was here, which I'm happy that it's here because the majority of it is air blocks instead of just solid netherrack. Like, you know, if you removed all of the netherrack up to this point, you'd still have to remove this anyway. But once this is all gone and I go into removing netherrack mode, all I have to worry about is removing netherrack. Why is it not taking these blocks out? So then the faster thing goes that much faster. You know, like you can just go in, you can just get into the rhythm of removing lines of netherrack. And you don't have to shift off of that rhythm to then remove a crimson forest. Because the forest has already been removed. Doing it this way. And the funny thing is, like, you can, like, I know how to use commands and everything else, but it's just not the same. Like, I mean, it's just not the same as using commands to do this. Like the same thing with going up on the nether ceiling. Big pig. Something tells me that gas is gonna blow up my boxes. Just because I happen to have all these boxes out here. Yeah, if they ever had a vote for best block in the game, it would be scaffolding. To just quickly look in one direction and be able to deploy the scaffolding in that direction, and then to be able to remove it all with just one click on the base of the whole structure. Like, it's a ladder that you can place from going down to up and from up to down, which down to up is, that's, has been the only way that you could do stuff before. But now you can do it from up to down. Plus you don't have to build the solid block to slap the ladder on it. Easily best block in the game. It's only taken like what, 15 years to add it. But before all of the stuff that they've added to the game existed in the game, it was like a fundamentally different game. Like going through, like, without potions in the nether, like, it was a little bit more anxiety inducing. Then there really wasn't anything in the nether to go through for anyway, except for, netherrack. Or, just used for portals. And then it used to be that netherrack, or netherwort, when they added potions, would only grow in the nether. So you had to sit in the nether and babysit your farm. You had to AFK by the farm for the netherwort to grow. And it took forever for each individual netherwort to grow. We are not defined by only the things that we can do, but our limitations. Yeah, it's like a badly paraphrased thing there. It's just a fundamentally different game. I'm not even sure what quote I was paraphrasing. I think it was the... Yeah, but that's not really the proper one to paraphrase. The other thing I'm wondering is, can you grow these crazy mushrooms like this? Like in the way that you put like 4 blocks or whatever, or 4 saplings of a particular tree and you hit it with bone meal, or you leave it for long enough and it turns into one of the large jungle trees, or... And I haven't tested that with any of the other trees. And then the question is, like, is it really that much different than just growing the individual mushrooms one at a time into the large fungus trees? Yeah, the joke about the scaffolding taking 15 years to be added to the game, in a game that's about building stuff, is a little bit unfair. It's a little bit of an unfair criticism, but it is, you know, I'm not entirely serious in my criticism of, like, you know, with the intention of being mean. But with it being my most favoritist block ever, it would have been nice to have it sooner. Is really what I'm trying to say, like. Big. The other thing I was talking about in the other video is, the other thing that they should probably add sooner than later is probably like an explosive arrow or something. Oh, good. I guess scaffolding is explosive resistance? Oh no, it hit that one. I did that block. Big. Dead. I was like, how did that extend past there? Just because it was on that block. In orbit, named Terry. Orbit Terry. Big. Ta-da! Just see a stem up here in the ceiling. No. I swore I did. Oh, well, I guess I didn't. And see, now I can stand here and be like, yes, there was an entire crimson forest here. Which there's still more crimson forest to dig out, which I can't complain about the crimson forest. And, you know, have it be a valid complaint. Because you can complain about anything for any reason at all. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a valid complaint, but... What? I don't think I did this. What? Oh wait, no, I think I did do that. I did, to get down there and not have to jump. But every bit that's Crimson Forest, I see you, Enderman. And every bit of this Crimson Forest isn't like solid blocks. Which I thought this whole entire everything on this quadrant, all the way down, this quadrant and that quadrant was just solid blocks, and I was like, no. Is the other part of the Crimson Forest underneath this part? Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I think. Big bird. Yeah, it's over that way. But I think I'm gonna call it a video here pretty soon. Because I gotta go empty out this nether wart in my industrial storage sized composter there. I was like, how did the Enderman place a block there? No, it's a slime. And he's off. I missed. When pigs fly. Man, shulker boxes are so cool. This is my first playthrough ever using them. And admittedly, part of me didn't even know they existed. Since the last time I played, which was a long time ago. Yeah. Nah, I'll make the potions when I come back. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'm clicking the button right now.